Well, good morning. We finally back to appropriate daylight time on the clock. That's quite nice. We're in fall, not on the dumb stupid time, so maybe we can get things done and the poor kids won't be in the dark freezing their butts off this winter like expected to do next winter because these stupid idiots. I'm sure thankful for a uncle that gave me this old grinder here that I had to wipe it down. Oh boy, it was all filthy. The disc on it wasn't no bigger than that one over there. It was so worn down. Had to use my little spanner wrench and take it loose and then put this different kind and just tighten it with a wrench. Man, that thing worked nice here, because I was using that old deep dinky cheap thing. I got one of these old Harbor Freight junkety junks with coupon. Got two of them, one so I could put a grinding disc and one for a cutting disc, instead of buying a good grinder and have to swap back and forth. Man, yeah, I like that. It knocks the socks off of it. Diesel, we're gonna continue to see fluctuations in the amount of diesel available, and so this evening Stacy has asked me to join her on Sustainable Stewards. I do an interview with her to give you all an update. I've got more information available since I interviewed with Green Greg's, so and which was even more than I had available when I did my own video a couple weeks ago. So you may want to tune into that later. This yesterday I was preparing the truck to be able to run the winch cable over the tailgate with it dropped down or whatever, and then right above the trailer. Well, this little old ATV winch was in the way to be able to run the cable right here. Since this old box that we had to try to make a lid for because it fell off and got plowed under from the tractor years ago, I swapped out this can for one I had that the lid was still available to put on the tractor. So eventually I got this and jury rigged the lid out of some sheet metal. Got to reseal it. And here I'm disconnected from the truck because I plan to do some welding. But point is, that poor thing, the little Keytog electric controller in the back there, it's dead, so it won't even work. I'm gonna have to get a battery and hopefully the little winch will work. I want to put it onto a receiver to slide in here or on the back of a different vehicle that only has a single hitch, or do like what I'm doing right here on a little light trailer or whatever, depending on what I gotta move. I took this old thing that was taken off of some other hitch. I think I or someone cut it shorter, and I'm going to weld it right in the center of this trailer. Hopefully my welder will work good enough for that. If not, I'll have to fire up the big gas one. And from the tailgate, the winch cable is not centered, so I might be able to run it past here. But the ideal is to be able to slide the winch right in here. Well, this was sitting further forward because of the old weld on it. The big winch would have bumped this tire. So that's why I was like, you know what, I'm tired of piddling around with this little dinky grinder, so I'm going to use one that'll work. So hey, let's try the one that my uncle kindly gave me, along with some small ones that I need to clean up too. And I blew it out with the air hose and all that first, and it worked, so I changed it. This was another 1/4 inch further over here with weld, so I ground the heck out of it. Ooh boy, that's sharp. That got me. Got a splinter in my finger I'll have to get out later. And that's going to bump right against there, and that'll be far enough to the rear that I'll be able to pin the winch right here with a hitch pin, run cables all the way to the battery of this truck to drag the vehicle right up to the winch. Well, that's a bit of a problem. Depending on the length of the vehicle, even though it's an 18-foot trailer, the winch may be in the way because the front grill guard may need to come all the way against here. But as long as the tires can hopefully at least get centered right on here. Maybe we can put it in park, get the winch out of the way or something, and get it the rest of the way by hand or with some other procedure, maybe a little come along or something. But I got fed up a long time ago with hand winching and come along stuff on the trailers. When I had to sell out and move out, I was broke. So I had bought that dinky little ATV winch, and then by itself it can't do much. So if all you can afford is something dinky, what you do, get you a nice big snatch block, a pulley, put on that cable and double it over. The other thing I did, because I had a dead pull stuff too, not just vehicles, because you know, a little light half-ton vehicle is the very most it could do with a pulley in there. I took a cable I was given, actually bigger than on that winch. I think it might be bigger than half-inch cable, and I put a big pulley, like an 8-inch pulley on it, and I would lay that up on the deck of the trailer with a chain going to the vehicle, and this little cable with the snatch block in it, and its own hook hooked over here to that, would be pulling another cable that had a big pulley on it. And that dinky little thing meant for just pulling a four-wheeler could actually get that stuff on. So as long as we got fuel, we can do that. Or something to charge the batteries. So do what you can to have your backup fuels, your backup electricities. And I'm going to switch some of my stuff from the transportation playlist to a fuel playlist, I think, and try to put together the different alternative fuels like hydrogen and this and that. And I've already mentioned the wood gasification playlist I saved, that was sent to me by Grand Solar Minimum Solutions, a good gentleman who's a personal contact. And there's a lot we can do for ourselves, but the main thing is to pay attention. Don't become overwhelmed. Don't let the fear mongers get to us. I am still getting messages about running out of fuel, even though we've gone from 25 days worth to 26 days worth, because we're still producing, we're still pumping, still refining. It's probably gradually going to get a little bit worse over time. So if everybody will try to conserve and try to push our legislators to put a stop to the corrupt nonsense out of the executive branch, well, maybe we can get through things. So just do what you can do, and be ready to double up and move on. That's for dragging this second trailer, and if necessary, this can get dragged behind the gooseneck, where I've already put a receiver in the back of it and place for safety chains. All I got to do is put the light plug in case we got a bug on down the highway. Hopefully not, because that's too much work. So speak up before these Looney Tunes get us into a situation that's going to be overly bothersome and traumatic for people. And just stay aware and prepared. Preparedness provides calm and security, because you're already prepared. You don't have to freak out when something comes slapping everybody in the face. So please bring the message to others as well. And here, stay hydrated, everybody.